Good day, human Latios. This is Latios Zoo, and welcome to another Pokemon X and Y Wi-Fi battle. This is, once again, a single battle through Battle Spot. Now, as you can see, both me and my opponent start with a Porygon2. This looks gonna be fun. Here's what happened. So, Majo or Maho or whatever is issuing a challenge and starts off with the Porygon2. While I also start off with the Porygon2, only in the shiny variety. Now, neither of them have any abilities because they both have Trace, so there's nothing for them to trace yet. However, mine is an offensive one, his is just a toxic stall one. How fortunate for me. So, it just literally is a giant stall of a battle. Porygon2 versus Porygon2. Let's just say, both have Recover, and Eviolite, so it could take a while for each of them just to attack the other one and get rid of them. The only difference is, mine is going to lose more and more health every turn because A, I'm not as defensively invested, and B, I don't have Toxic on mine. My opponent, however, goes for the Toxic on the first turn, and then just pretty much stalls me out. So at this point, I just return, withdraw Porygon2, and just go into Sylveon. Of course, now the Porygon2 is going to get the Pixelate ability, which doesn't bother me too much, because now normal moves won't be Stab. Which does not bother me that much, because I don't have any Pokemon that would really... I mean... I have too much of an issue with that. So I let him actually Toxic Poison me, and then I go for the Heal Bell. I just wanted to let him show him that, hey, you're not gonna get away with this with me. Sorry. So, I guess he predicted me to go for the Hyper Voice again, so he did go for a Recover. So then at the point I just switch out and go into Metagross, expecting him to actually go for the Toxic once again, just to get Poison back on me, and he does. So at that point he's probably thinking he can't poison me, so I can just go for a Hammer Arm on him, which is going to lower my speed, but it's going to be super effective. However, it doesn't quite do half, so he just goes for a Thunderbolt. It's not going to do too much damage on me because I am Assault Vest, but still, he's going to recover, and it's going to just be a lot of him trying to paralyze me while I try to Hammer Arm him. I get a crit this time, but it's not even going to matter too much because he's just going to recover up everything. Well, most of that damage, so I would need literally 2 crits in him not to recover. Which surmounts to pretty much an impossible thing. Because I'm going to have a Metagross at, like, minimum speed. While he just keeps on recovering up on his Porygon2. I mean, I can't say I don't like Porygon2. I do like Porygon2. I'd be a hypocrite to complain about someone using it. I mean, I use one myself. But whatever. So he's actually going to just withdraw his Porygon2 at that point and go into a Sableye. So I just switch out and go into my Porygon2 because I figure I don't know what that Sableye is going to do, but I don't want it to do it to my, I didn't want him to Will-O-Wisp my Metagross, and Porygon2 is the best candidate to get burned since I do have Recover on it, as opposed to Sylveon, who just has the Heal Bell to get rid of the burn. Of course, now since I have the Prankster ability from the Sableye, I am able to have priority on the Recover. Problem is, now his Sableye is starting to set up Calm Minds, which is kind of an issue. I'm going to eventually need to take care of that at some point. But as for now, I just need Porygon2 to do what it can to survive. Because if he's going to stall me out with his Porygon2, I'm going to have to find a way to stall out him. So I go for a Thunderbolt, which isn't going to do too much at all in the Sableye, because he's going to set up Calm Minds. His team is just setting up defense. I mean, he's also raising his special offense, but he's raising special defense on this thing. Just like he was dealing with Porygon2, just stalling out me. So eventually I did get the Power Hacks on him, but it's just paralysis, which is kind of unfortunate. So there's very little chance of me being able to one-shot that thing, because he can easily Will-O-Wisp my Metagross, which is going to lower a physical attack, and my other two Pokemon rely on their special attack. So he's going to go for a priority recover, and there's not really a thing I can do about that. I can go for a Thunderbolt, but it's not going to do nearly enough, and I'm just going to get more burn damage every turn. So I actually just go into Sylveon because I figured he was just going to continue setting up, because he's running Calm Mind, Recover, and, well, a Will-O-Wisp, and whatever he has in his 4th slot, but I'm just thinking he's going to want to fully set up before he's actually going to do any actual attacking, because he's going to think he can survive an attack. So I go for a Hyper Voice, and he actually takes that pretty well, but he is paralyzed. So I just have to hope he can eventually... He's going to have to go for a Recover every turn. So I took advantage of that and went for a Heal Bell, because I wanted to get rid of that burn on Porygon2, while he ended up just Will-O-Wisping Sylveon. So I probably could have actually just waited a turn to go for the Heal Bell, but not much I can do about that. I mean, he does have priority on his Recover, so unless he gets the Power Hacks, I really can't do anything about that. I can't defeat the Sableye. So I just take that turn because I knew he was going to go for a Recover. I just go for a Heal Bell because I didn't want Sylveon's health to go down any more than it already had. Of course, next turn, he just once again burns me again, because he has priority. However, the fact that he had such a high special defense, well, he increased special defense so much, I figured he's just asking for a crit, but then eventually he just switches out and goes into his Gengar. Okay, I can't really do much about that, because I just go for the Hyper Voice. Not that I had a choice, because he just switched into it, but it's free damage I got on that thing. So he's going to go for a Sludge Bomb. That is going to hurt and take down my Sylveon. So at this point, I'm thinking, okay. I am at a point where... I'm at the point where I'm screwed, because, well, at least I have Levitating on Porygon2, but that doesn't really matter too much, because he has Focus Blast on his Gengar and hits. And that almost takes out Porygon2, but Porygon2 survives, lands a Psychic, and takes down the Gengar. However, Porygon2 is at low health, and I can't do anything about any hacks, because I lost Sylveon, who has Heal Bell. So I just need... A, I need to make sure Metagross does not get burned, and B, I need to make sure Porygon2 doesn't, well, I guess, also get burned. I mean, I'm okay with them, I guess, getting paralyzed to a degree, but, well, Porygon2 is going to get burned. Not much I can really do about that, I can just go for Recover. However, he is going to have a slight advantage with the Sableye being, well, having the priority Recover. However, eventually he's bound to run out, and he's going to have to set up Calm Minds once again. So, Thunderbolt is going to be, going to do some nice damage on that thing. Except, not anymore, since, you know, he just raises special defense. So the Sableye is going to survive. I just need a crit. However, he actually goes for an offensive move, and loses his Sableye. Yeah, Parahax is kind of... I mean, it's a nice thing to have on your side. However, now that Porygon2 has Levitate, so I can't go for for an Earthquake or any Ground-type move on that thing. All I can do is just go for a Tri-Attack for now. While he just is recover stalling me. Because let's be honest, this Porygon2 my opponent has is complete stall. At least mine actually isn't fully invested in defense. But his clearly is, so I just need to basically get his Porygon2 down to enough to a low enough health that I can get rid of it, or if I can get him to run out of recover. If he runs out of recover, then I can easily just take him down. But either way, at that point I'd have to stall him out, and he's already stalling me out enough. Plus, I'm burned; he's not, so it does give him quite an advantage, I may say so. So my plan is, I want to stall him out enough that I want him to be at least in the mid to low yellow zone when my Porygon2 will faint. Because at that point, I'm just thinking, eventually my Porygon2 is going to have to faint, but I'm going to wait until it's the best possible time, because then I'll be able to go in with Metagross, who should be able to outspeed on the first turn, go for a Hammer Arm, and take it down. So, but the only thing is, I can't just jump into that. I have to make sure that it's the perfect opportunity for my Porygon2 to actually faint. So yeah, I pretty much conceded the fact that I can't defeat his Porygon2 with my own Porygon2. Unless I got, like, a super crit, but that's not gonna happen. So I just go for a Tri-Attack, hoping for hacks for now. And he just starts going for Ice Beams. I mean, he can't really get any hacks down because I'm already burned. So, in a way, maybe that actually works to my advantage, the fact that I'm burned. Because, I mean, burn is not going to increase damage every turn like Toxic. It's not going to prevent me from attacking, like Paralysis, and it's not going to completely keep me from doing anything like Sleep or Freezing. Plus, it's permanent, so I can't get any other status problems. But whatever the case, I just need to keep my Porygon2 alive while he continues to attack me / stall me out. So, yes, I understand that in order to prevent him from completely stalling me out, I have to stall him out. But, so there is quite a hypocrisy involved in my complaining of stalling. But, you have to understand, my team isn't built around stall. I don't have a Porygon2 with a Sableye. Granted, I do have a Porygon2, though it's not completely invested in defense. So, at this point, I started considering, he's in the yellow, if I can get a crit there, I don't get the crit. So, at that point, I figure, okay, he's going to recover up, so now I have to go for recover next turn. Since I am going to outspeed, because my Porygon2 does have more speed investment than his, so he's just going to keep recovering up, because that's what he does. Which I'm okay with, because the more he recovers, the less recover he'll have. Because I just want him to run out of recovers. Because unlike him, I still have one more Pokemon left. So, if my Porygon2 runs out of recover, which it already is starting to at this point, well, I still have another Pokemon that can attack. So, I just keep going for a Tri-Attack, hoping for some hacks, so I can get a Freeze Hacks. That would give me a great advantage, and I actually do get the Freeze Hacks, but he thaws out right away, and goes for an Ice Beam. Of course he'd thaw out the same turn. I mean, of course that would happen. That's the way my luck works. What can I say? So, Paralysis would have been nice, but what can I say? That's just my luck. So, I just go for a recover here, because what else can I do? This is a very long battle. Like, this battle's so long that it's not even funny. So, I mean, it's just basically two Porygon2s going at it with Recover and Hacks. So, he's just going for Ice Beams now because he's starting to run out of Thunderbolts and Tri-Attack. Well, he's starting to run out of Thunderbolts, which I am perfectly okay with him running out of Thunderbolts because Ice Beam isn't going to do very much to Metagross, other than possibly Freeze, which Freeze Hacks isn't that likely, and I don't know. That Porygon2 just... it's Stall. It's about as guilty as you get with Stall, and I finally got a Burn Hacks. Of course, it's Burn. So, that kind of... at that point, I started thinking... then he got a crit, of course. I started thinking that... you know what? Maybe that since he's burned, we are at a similar advantage now, because he no longer has the status problem advantage over me like I had well, like he had before, with me being burned. So I decided at this point, you know what, I'm going to try to get his Porygon2 down as much health as I can, and then I'm going to let my Porygon2 go down so I can go into Metagross to take it down, since it is in fact burned, so I should have a chance to do to take it down. So at that point, I actually really started running out of Tri-Attack, so I actually had to go for a Thunderbolt. Not much I could really do about that, but he was losing some health thanks to the burn. So I did go for a Tri-Attack there, because I knew I was going to be giving up at that point on my Porygon2. I was going to let him take it down, because this way, by letting Porygon2 go down at this particular moment when his Porygon2 was burned and in the yellow zone, I'd be able to outspeed him with my Metagross. Since now he's in the red zone, I'd be able to outspeed him and take him down with a simple Hammer Arm. Because Hammer Arm's super effective. I saw before it was able to do a little less than half, or was it a little more than half? I don't know. It was about half. So in the red zone, I was able to take it down and defeat that stall wall that is Porygon2. Yes, Porygon2 on Porygon2 is so intense, so stallish, so long, so long. Thank you for watching. As always, like, comment, and subscribe. Goodbye.